everyone, I'm going to be telling you about a bunch of different Wet n Wild products in this video. They've come out with a lot of new things. I know lots of people have been talking about them, and I've had mine for maybe a week and a half, couple weeks now, and I've tried all this stuff, not only swatched it, but tried it on my face, so now I feel like I'm ready to review it for you. What I'm talking about are 3 new baked palettes, also a 100% matte palette, and 4 new glitter palettes. So I'm going to be just giving you a rundown of what I think about all these things all in one video because they all kind of came out around the same time. Now, I recently got my hands on this stuff because I am a Wet n Wild beauty ambassador, so I do get sent some products from Wet n Wild to try out and review. I have found these things also in my local Walgreens store, but I know that they're not necessarily everywhere, so just something you have to kind of keep checking on and see if it comes out. There's some of this stuff I really like and some that I'm not so impressed with, so I'm just going to give you my honest opinions on everything. The first thing I'm going to talk about is the I Love Matte palette. So this is really great. I think Wet n Wild has been listening to what people have been saying, and I think they've gotten a lot of good feedback probably on palettes like this that have, you know, half shimmer, half matte, and they're really versatile and great to use. The thing I do want to mention here is that if you have the palette labeled Pride and the palette labeled Vanity, there is some overlap with these two palettes that I've found. For Vanity, it's that darkest brown and that light cream shade. So they're really kind of coming up here right side by side. But if you love those shades and maybe you can't find the I Love Matte palette, you have some of those in Vanity. And then in the Pride palette, you're overlapping with that green and that white. The benefit of having a nice little collection of matte shades is because if you rely heavily on drugstore products, I feel like the majority of drugstore shadows come out with shimmer in them. And so with this, you're getting, you know, some real standard basics, including a great matte black to kind of supplement what you have that's already really shimmery. And you've got some pretty bold colors as well. I felt like these all applied very much the same way. I mean, they're all a matte finish, and I didn't notice like, oh, well, this one shade really stinks, you know? They all go on in the same fashion, so I really, really am a fan of those. I want to talk about the glitter palettes. So what you're getting in each of these is 6 high impact cream glitters in dazzling colors that deliver strikingly sparkly looks that won't go unnoticed. So this one with the black and red is called Shimmer Station. Then we have Main Street Glitz, which is kind of reds, bronzes, and golds. The reason why I'm having to look down is because they don't actually say the shade names on the thing, so I had to write them down. Next we have Tinsel Mall, which is your pinks and blues and kind of a black, silver, white thing. And then we've got blues and greens in Twinkletown. I love that name, Twinkletown. You have NYX Glitter Cream palettes. You may have noticed a similar thing going on with these. Not all of these are straight up glitter creams. For example, this gold right here, that's just a creamy metallic gold cream there. And this one right up here, it looked like it was straight up, you know, silver glitter, but once you just get past the top layer, it's just creamy silver. So if you were getting these thinking, I want to try a bunch of... It just broke. Okay, I might have fixed it. That's bizarre. What I'm getting at here is if you were getting these thinking, I want to try a bunch of glitter products, you're gonna run out of glitter fairly quickly, even if you just swatch it a couple times, because you come through and you get past that glitter and you've just got cream. And when you look at these, I mean, they look gorgeous. This palette right here, don't those colors just look amazing? And they swatch beautifully too. This one had a really unusual thing with the blue because the blue glitter was on top of purple cream. Once you got past that first layer, look, it's purple on the underside. This blue palette here, that is just an emerald cream. There is no glitter on that one. And then some others have the glitter, and again with the silver, where it's silver, but if you just peel back some of that silver, as you can see there, it's just a silver cream then underneath. I did a glitter cream look, and I had some powder product that I kind of blended up into the crease, but overall what was on my lids was the glitter cream. I did one color and then I kind of dabbed the silver glitter cream over the top. I sat down and I read a book for an hour. I got up and looked in the mirror and it creased like none other. On my lids I didn't top it with a shadow or anything. I used a primer, but I didn't top it with shadow because I had to see if my assumptions were correct that it was going to crease like mad, and it did. But there are three things that I do with cream shadows. Number one, I always use a primer first. Number two, I apply it in as thin of an application as possible with the glitter or with the whatever cream product it might be. And number three, for staying power purposes, I almost always top it with a coordinating shadow or whatever shadow I want to use to give it the look that I desire. And that's how I get staying power out of random cream eyeshadows. And here's the thing, when you've got glitter, you want that glitter to be on top, you know, you want that to be showing and standing out and being, you know, you don't want to cover up glitter with powder and then, you know, it just kind of defeats the purpose. Eventually you work through the glitter and you get to some potentially usable creams, but what I'm getting at here is if glitter's what you want, you're only going to get it for a little while and it just does not seem to work very well without creasing. All of these come with a black eyeliner, FYI. The baked palettes, and these all come with, actually two of these two come with a black eyeliner and this one comes with a silver liner. And I am wearing this one right now actually. And the cool thing that I love about baked shadows is that you can use them wet or dry. And I'm just going to give you a quick overview of what each of these are first. Okay, this one is baking a cake, and I'll take the top off. I don't really love how you've got to like, it's just like a little tray here, but baking cake, you're getting, you know, magenta and light pink. The two shades in the middle of all of these are kind of marbled, and you can't really judge them by the way they appear here because you've got to kind of see them swatched to see what color you get. You also get a brown and a blue. Also got Baked Not Fried, which is the blue collection that I'm wearing right now. So you've got your light shades, your two marbled colors, a black and a blue. And you've got Bake Off Contest, which are your neutrals here. I'm going to start by talking about this one in terms of exactly how these work. Now these can be worn wet or dry, and with this one in particular, it did not swatch very well for me dry, and when I put it on my lids dry, just like applying with a brush, even though I had a primer on my lids, it still came off in a really flaky way. Like this shade right here is just so darn shimmery, it just does not like concentrate very well for you. However, this was the one I noticed the biggest difference with when I wore it wet. The metallic came out of these so much, it was gorgeous. When I swatched these wet and when I wore these wet, the impact was great. And you might be wondering, well, I don't even know how to wear them wet and I don't want wet eyelids. Well, they don't stay wet on your eyelids. For example, I wore the blue with a couple shades wet here. It dries and it actually wears a really long time, but what I do is I just keep some water in a spray bottle. I spray it right on the palm of my hand, and I have some sponge tip applicators. Now those don't come with sponge tips, so you might want to either take some sponge tips out of containers you already have or just buy some. They're real cheap. I dampen the sponge tip in the palm of my hand, and then I go directly onto the product and then I apply it. So I like to do the wet stuff like on my lid, so there's the real pop, and then I blend it up into the crease just dry using this shade, and I use this shade underneath as well. So basically for your pops of color, you know, maybe use it wet, and then to blend it out, use it dry. So I love that versatility. If you've ever had any other baked products, Laura Geller, Milani, whatever, they last a long time. They really do. Again, this one I wasn't too fond of dry. I really like them all best wet. They look their best. They give you the most impact wet, and then use, like I said, the darker shades for blending. I like that you get some kind of fun marbly shades in there because you don't really know what you're gonna get. It just turns out some of them look kind of taupey. This shade is pretty. This was the palette I used combined with a cream palette, and it gave me a beautiful look. That magenta, although I didn't love the way it swatched, I really liked it when I wore it on my eye. Gosh, I feel like we just had so much to talk about in this video, but I wanted you to be able to know what I thought about all this new stuff. Love the matte palette. Really not a big fan of the glitter creams, but if you can find these baked palettes, I really think those are a lot of fun. Definitely consider maybe getting out of your comfort zone with using dry shadows and try them wet, because they really will give you their most impactful finish on your eyelid. And all you need are some, water and sponge tip applicators. It's that easy. So thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you think of these if you have them already, or if you get them. Feel free to comment below, and have a great day. Bye, guys.